It's starting. It's
Okay. So my name is Malia Peterson, and I'm doing my presentation on Waldorf education. Yeah, okay. So Waldorf was founded by Rudolf Steiner, who was a philosopher and a teacher. He was born in 1861 in Croatia, and the first Waldorf school was opened in 1919 in Germany in a cigarette factory. And so his philosophy was that students learn in 3 stages, which is early childhood, which is where they learn to play with their hands. Elementary education is the forming of artistic ability. And secondary education is that higher level thinking. And Waldorf schools have a wide international influence. It started in Germany, spread through Europe, and then now has come to the United States and Canada. They're very popular. And so, so in the pre-K and kindergarten, they really focus on play more than anything. There's no academics before first grade. You knit, you play with organic materials, play outside a lot. There's a really big focus on that so that you can form your imagination. And then one of the main parts of the 1st through 8th grade education is main lesson, which is where students learn to read, to write, their comprehension skills, how to listen, throughout learning through history. And so the 1st grade is fairy tales and fables, and so children learn to form their imagination while listening to different fairy tales and fables that the teacher then tells them. And then 2nd grade is the saints and legends. So one of those is the fox and the hare, and my mom kind of explained it to me as the saints are like the nicer children who 2nd graders are sometimes saints and sometimes they're very mischievous, which you find within those legends that you tell the children. So the 3rd grade is the Old Testament, and that's the Old Testament more in the historical aspect rather than the religious aspect. So you learn about God did this on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd day, but then you also learn about Moses parting the seas and the 10 Commandments, but as history. And then 4th grade is Norse mythology, and so you learn about the Norse gods, so Odin and Loki and the Tree of Life and that sort of belief. And then, so 5th grade is Greek mythology in Mesopotamia. So that's the Greek gods, Zeus, Poseidon, and then the Egyptian gods, Isis and Osiris. And again, learning about the historical aspect of those gods. And then the 6th grade is medieval times and the Roman Empire. So you learn about the Roman rulers, how Rome was built on the different hills, and also just medieval Europe. And then 7th grade is the Renaissance. So again, the historical aspect of the Renaissance, what went on. A big thing here, we have the Renaissance Festival, so classes will take field trips to the Renaissance Fair to really learn about the history of it. And then finally, 8th grade is the Revolution. So the French Revolution, the American Revolution, and how and then up until present day, and how that has changed our society throughout time. And so along with the main lesson, classes have other blocks. So each block is 6 weeks, and so usually you'll have a 6-week acting class kind of period where you do a play, math, science, and then the different sciences, chemistry, physics, botany, anatomy, astronomy. And then along with main lesson, which is usually about an hour and 15 minutes in the morning, you have handworking, woodworking, art, language, gardening. So these different kind of class periods like any other school has, but they're kind of alternative learning. And so also in the high school, they focus a lot more on a mentor-mentee kind of basis rather than a teacher-student. So it's focused on the individual's journey rather than focusing on just you learning this and then this and then this. And so my experience with Waldorf, I went kindergarten to a private Waldorf and then 1st through 8th grade. And I think I've definitely become a more well-rounded person. I know so many different things that many other people don't know, along with history, but then also I know how to knit, sew, cross-stitch, work with wood. I made like a wooden spoon, a wood heart bowl throughout my childhood, and it just really gives me a different perspective on the world rather than just the black and white. And another major thing that we do is field trips. So I've camped inside the Grand Canyon in 4th grade. We sailed to Catalina Islands in the 8th grade. We spent 5 nights on a boat sailing through the San Juan Islands, which I think is just a really amazing experience. And so many schools are changing from private to charter, which is really big because more people can afford them and more students are able to attend. And along with that, there's just a widespread here in the United States. In 1960, there were about 5, and then now there's 150. So, thank you.